Hey, what's up? What's going on? You're listening to Hall Street Journal. My name is Rob Hall. I'm the editor-in-chief of Hall Street Journal at hallstreetjournal.com. We are here to educate, edify, enlighten, and entertain. It is the top of the 8 o'clock hour, and Hall Street is in the building. We normally come on in at like 7, but, it was a long weekend. Okay, so we're here now. We're excited to be here. We got an interesting show for you today. Hall Street Journal basically is a prism through which we look at the news, hot topics, things that are going on in the world today. But the goal is really to educate, edify, enlighten, entertain, help you to uplift, help you to make it to the next level, take it to the next step, go to a higher place. We want to help people create wealth. We want to help people in dealing with their money and finance, but also deal with faith and spirituality and inspiration. We want to deal with our health and our fitness. Who cares if you got money if you lose your health? If you don't take care of yourself, come on. So there's so many elements and aspects of life. We need to know what's going on in the news. We need to know what's going on in politics. We just need to have a grasp of what's going on around here, because sometimes it's like we got our heads buried in the sand and we don't see what's up. And we need to have better information. And as the CEO Papa John said, better ingredients, better pizza. So we here to get some better ingredients for you. I'm looking at the news. I'm out here on my phone. How many of y'all about to get that new Note 3? That the Note 7. The Note 7 is coming out, man. I was checking it out last night. I'm not one of these iPhone people. I can't drink that Kool-Aid myself. I know there's a big iPhone nation out there. Hall Street's just not rocking with that train. But I'm an Android type of fella, and we got this new Note 7 coming out, and I'm feeling it. I'm loving a lot of the features. I think your boy's gonna be rolling around here with the iris retina scan. Because if you don't, what I'm saying, if you don't have the iris retina scan, some people in your life might want to just check out your little swipe pattern or something like that and be looking in your phone, and it'll be causing you some problems. So what I'm saying, I recommend, man, if you can get that iris retina scan, unlock your phone. What they gonna do, take your eyeball out? You know what I'm saying? You can see. Nobody can get in your phone, man. You just look at the jump. Open up, family. Boom. Now you talking. I like it. That's what I'm saying, man. Technology is next level. I was talking to an older lady. Usually when I talk to some singers, and I'm not. And for those you don't know, I work in the solar industry. Solar is huge. It's blowing up. Big time. Lots of money. Lots of people being helped. Lots of people reducing their bills. If you need a solar energy consultant, actually, you do need a solar energy consultant if you have a home and the sun is shining on the roof. You need a solar energy consultant to see how much money you can save and how you can benefit. Everybody's doing it. You can call me at 301-412-5673. But back to what I was saying, again, that's 301-412-5673. But back to what I was saying, I ran into a singer, and usually when you're talking to singers, they're used to the I don't know, my life might be flickering and what I'm gonna do, I don't know. But this woman was like on top of it. Like, she was super sharp. Like, she knew facts, figures, information. You could tell she's like exposed herself regularly to information sources. Like, she's reading the posts in the journal, and she knew more in some instances, in some areas, than I did. And I was like, wow. And she was talking about the future, and it was so cool to see somebody who was in their elder years, but like on top of the game. And she was like, they talking about the future. The future is here. The future is in the present. The future is now. It's not where we going. We doing it already. And she was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. She said, I'm not gonna. It was a 20-year contract. This lady is like, she was like in her 70s or so. She was old. She's older. You know what I'm saying? She's like look, 20, 30 year contract, man, I may not be here to see how this all unfolds, but I'm going to do my part. I'm going to get involved because I like to see the future moving forward and things going forward. You know what I'm saying? So I was really touched by that. Really, I was like, wow. She's the definition. She embodied the definition of leadership, and that is, having a responsibility to something greater than yourself. And she was like really responsible to the rest of the world and the earth. She was like, my kids, my grandkids, I want to do something that's good for the environment and the planet. And, it's just a lot, man, because you got to recognize what's happening in technology and take advantage of that. I noticed today, Delta Airlines is down in a major way due to a massive power outage. Like this is like, this jacks people up. I mean, how many of y'all can call in the studio hotline, 240-455-5934 if you want to talk about any of this. But man, this messes people up. I mean, I don't know how many of y'all been through, but I've been through it when you got to spend the night, you know what I'm saying, sleeping in a airport, waiting for the next flight. They giving you maybe a little food ticket or something, and keep lying to you, telling you you're gonna leave the next hour and or two, and then they wait till 15 minutes before and then push it another hour or two, and they then just lead you on for all this time, and then you know what I'm saying, it's crazy. It's crazy. And so now you got all these people grounded because of a power outage in the Atlanta hub Delta. This is man, people could be going to things. They trying to get to weddings. They trying to get to appointments and jobs and see family members are sick and all. They don't know what people dealing with, and because of a power outage, people are stuck. So, but we have the technology to stabilize the power, to stabilize the power grid. We just need to adopt it. Delta Airlines, if you're listening, give me a call, 301-412-5673. I'm going to help y'all go solar. Y'all need some solar energy over there at Delta Airlines. You need to rock with Solar City so you're not dealing with these crazy power outages. All right, so what else is going on? The Trump train is imploding. The Trump train is gone off the tracks. Mr. Trump is down in the polls by 10 points. Any reasonable person is not going to see the possibility of electing. Forget your political views, but you're not going to elect somebody who's as reckless as this fellow to have the nuclear launch code. It just defies reason to do this. Now, I know there are significant millions of Americans who would choose him over Mrs. Clinton, but there are more significant millions who would not. And I think we looking at something that's probably going to be a wrap. But don't go to sleep. Stay tuned. Stay connected. If nothing else, whether you agree with me or disagree, that's all right. What's important is that what's important is that you stay connected to what's going on, and you whatever you do, whatever position you take, you understand why you took that position. I'm personally conservative, but I can't in good conscience go out here and vote for someone who is fear mongering and hate mongering and just demonstrating the character traits that Mr. Trump has demonstrated. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And for a guy who's a conservative, it's even harder to swallow. But my first responsibility is a real responsibility to my children, to the future. I gotta look myself in the mirror. So I can't look myself in the mirror after asking for that man to be the president. Like that ain't cool. That ain't cool. Now you might have a different opinion. Remember that you calling into a guy who is himself a conservative. So you in trouble. You in trouble if you calling me, because I had to go get over some hurdles. But yeah, we can talk about it. But it's some crazy stuff going on in the political world now. They're not even talking so much about whether or not Trump is gonna win the presidency. They're worried about whether or not the Republicans are gonna lose the Senate. You know, and that's a real possibility. Now, Republican leaders are watching what's going on with Trump, but you know, there's growing alarm that hey, we might lose the whole sheboing, you know, not just the White House, but you know, you're not just gonna hand it to Hillary. You're gonna hand it to Hillary with majority in the Senate, and you know that just takes down a notch the Republican influence in the government overall. So there's some wild stuff going on. And the Republicans still think they have time to right the ship on some levels. They do, but with this captain right here they got at the helm of the ship, you know, you got a problem. All right, so what else we got to talk about? You know, this whole Black Lives Matter thing, man. I'm at the point where, you know, it's like, man, what else are we gonna do? I mean, what else are we gonna experience? You know, the unarmed teen killed by the police. I don't know how many of you seen this video, but it is absolutely disturbing. It does not suggest that Black Lives Matter. I understand that the team was in the wrong as far as taking the car and all that, and I understand that the police have to use certain levels of force when they're met with certain levels of aggression. It's just a sad thing to watch and see what's happening. What's happening is I mean, and at the same time you see you see other situations held without the same disregard. You know, they give people a chance. I mean, I'm just being straight up. I mean, I've seen people who are different colors really get more chance to live when they go astray. So, that's not cool. It's painful to see, to watch. More lives lost. And honestly, I'm trying to do what I can do to participate in the movement, of course, and nothing else, man. I say what my dad used to say, God rest him. When you don't know what else to do, he turned his head and say, hey, I just pray. So, we're going to pray for the families of that young man who lost his life. And we're going to also take action because sometimes we just look for God to do everything for us. And a lot of times God looking to do things through us. So where you see opportunity to get out there, to get involved, to do something, to make a difference, I encourage you to do that. Yeah, that's huge. All right, so what else is going on? I have a young man died on a slide at a water park. I don't know how many of y'all have seen this going on. The safety levels, on these roller coasters and all this type of stuff, man. I don't know if it's worth the thrill. I'm looking at some of this stuff, and I know there's massive lawsuits on the back of it, but man, I mean, whoever they conceiving this stuff, they need some better engineers, because people shouldn't be dying in fun rides and fun parks. I was a paratrooper in the Army. You talking to guys who jump out of airplanes and. So I've had my element of thrill seeking and adventure seeking, and I enjoy that, and that's all good and that's gravy, But you got to draw the line sometimes. You got to pull back and look at stuff and go, do I really want to do that one? Like for instance, I'll jump out of airplane, but I will not bungee jump. That's not gonna happen because I can't put my whole life on a rubber band. It's a rubber band. I mean, I can jump with a $2,000 German-made parachute with an altimeter in it that's designed to open up even if I knock out. That's a piece of equipment. Yeah, and yeah. The engineer said, "But man, Quasi," he's like, "Who packed the chute?" You know, now in the military, we got people, the riggers. They pack. That's all they do. Like that's their job is to pack parachute. They don't do anything else. They wear red baseball caps, and they are the best of the best at what they do. But yeah, you know, still, I mean, I'm not saying it's not a risk. It's a risk either way. But just for me, the bungee jump thing, there's no backup. You know, there's no back. Yeah. Holla at me, Quasi.
Yeah, you know, I was asking who packed the chute. Excuse me, TV and radio. I'm eating. You know, I didn't get home at 3 o'clock, and Mr. Hall here for the Hall Street Journey coming in. But again, like you said, you talking about a rubber band,
right?
Yeah, but you got to look at, did that dude have a bad night? Did you say something to his girl?
Hey.
Then he gonna pack your shoe?
Well, see, he got
I
got a
jumping out at what?
too.
5, was it 20,000 feet or whatever?
No. The average military jump is only about. It's on the books. They'll say 1,250 feet. On the average, you coming out about 1,500. About 1,500 feet when you coming out that C-130, C-131. I'm C-141, C-130, C-5.
That's a big plane. That's C-30. That's C-130.
C-130. Yeah, that's a good size. The C-5 is the monster.
Wow.
The C5 is so big that when we're jumping out of the C5, we go out to tailgate, and when you're jumping out, the plane is so large that it has to go super fast to maintain altitude. But the speed at which the C5 maintains altitude is so fast that if you jumped out, the opening shock would knock you out.
Wow.
So they actually have to slow the plane down to a point where a human can jump out without getting knocked out or hurt.
Oh, okay. So
and at that speed, the plane is actually falling out of the sky because it can't maintain altitude.
Right.
So
it's so
yeah,
big.
it's so big. So literally, we jump out of C5 while it's losing altitude.
Oh, okay. Now, let me ask you a question. I've seen it, but I just want to ask you. What's the deal with the guys who jump the Rangers or the SEALs who jump out at 5 miles above the earth or whatever, and the oxygen mask, and they, you know, like the SEALs? I don't know.
The halo.
There you go. Hey, that's the word
high altitude, low opening, like that. You know, now in certain situations when they need to get into a situation, because you know the U.S. every time they jump into a place. You know, it's not always a country we at war with, right? so
I got you.
Now we clearly at war. We can come fly in at 1,500 feet and drop a few thousand people. We at war, and the media can see it, and you can. But when we jumping into a country to snatch some foreign leader out their house,
covert.
When we doing these covert operations, they can't always do that. So they might need to get way up high above the clouds and get some specially trained individuals and release them and let them kind of just fall through the heavens and know where they're going and know what they're doing. And
how long do they fall?
Well, actually, that's a good question. It could be because I've jumped at those type of heights. We talking about 10,000 feet. In civilian jumps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You only free fall for a minute. You know what I mean? 45 seconds or something like that. You can come pretty far in short period of time. As I recall. And I jumped. I jumped my tandem at those type of. But I have videotape of it, and it wasn't long. There's not a lot of African Americans who are out running around jumping out the planes, but
you got to be. My name is Quasi, but you got to be a little bit crazy.
Yeah, a little bit. I remember when the last time I did a high altitude jump. My daughter was little. It was a long time ago. My daughter was probably about 4 years old, and she just started college at GW. So that about 14 years ago we jumped. And then that's what they asked her. They said, "Is your daddy crazy?" And she looked at the cameraman and just shook her head like, "Nah, my daddy ain't crazy."
Yeah, he is.
And then the next thing, we took off in the plane and she saw her dad come flying out the sky. So it was cool. I love it. I love the fact of having been in the U.S. military and having served the nation in my young years. I encourage young men who are interested in getting out here and seeing the world, and the military is one way to do it. Now there's some craziness going on. There's a lot more war back there, but there's a little more now, and it can be rough on things like marriages, and I'm not saying that it's not without issue. But I think military service is a potentially powerful character builder.
But can I ask you the quote of your? We're here to Rob Hall Journal, Hall Street Journal is here to
educate, edify, enlighten, and entertain.
Okay, now I'm asking you on. Well, let me go ahead.
Go in.
What's up with these young folks, man? I'm just gonna keep it real. Damn,
these millennials. The millennials are the very young, because I mean I was out.
I'm talking about the people that like you get out here work. Me, I'm up here at 6, 5:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. But these folks that don't want to get up, but they want all these handouts. I need some money, but you can't get your butt up out the bed. I want to learn how to make the money that you make. Well, come learn what I'm doing. Stick beside me. It don't pay much,
right?
If it pays at all, but the knowledge that I give you,
right,
is worth that money. But you don't want, and then then they play. Man, talk to me,
man. Well, first of all, I gotta say it's all y'all fault. Generation X, y'all done did it. We done did it. Generation, we don't raise a bunch of millennials who have high levels of expectation. They all expect to be millionaires by the time they 30, and they depressed. They ready to kill themselves if they not a millionaire at 30. But they haven't developed any skills or any ability. It's all about the look. It's all about the flow. It's all about the lifestyle. Like, they grew up watching folks like Mark Zuckerberg become billionaires, and they think it's all supposed to be easy and sweet. But it's far more than that. So I feel like we had a whole generation that kind of missed the opportunity to have a hustle. They don't have the hustle. They just expect the results without the work.
But my thing is this: what's the terminology of hustle? What does that mean? Tell me what hustle means.
Being on that grind, getting that work in.
No, that means getting your butt up out that daggone bed and doing what you got to do to get it done.
Yeah, but see, but the rest of the story is the first hustle is to invest something in yourself so that it can matter that you got out the bed.
You're absolutely
because listen, you can't make a withdrawal from an account where you never made a deposit. And so they're not being trained to make deposits in their own ability, so they can't withdraw anything from it because they haven't developed any skill. First question I ask people, I don't know, I've dealt with a lot of brothers, been to prison and stuff like that, right. And been through those experiences myself. And I talk to people and I say, listen, man, what thing of value, what value proposition do you offer to society? If you sit at a table, how is that table benefited by your presence? So if my window break, can you fix it? If my pipe busts, can you repair it? If I need some advice on if I got a virus on my computer, can you show me how to straighten it out? What value do you bring to the table? What skill set have you developed? See, until you do that, until you can answer that, then you have no right to lay claim to any sort of lifestyle of success and growth and development because you're not contributing anything.
They didn't want to walk around like this.
With the pants, with attitude. And with your pants dropped behind you, under your tail, and your attitude. See, I broke that. See, I break that down too, man. Because when you walking around with your pants under your butt and pimping and basically showing yourself to be socially maladjusted and someone who cannot fit in to any reasonably upward mobile culture or environment of basic level of success. You cannot work at a job.
That's right.
Doing this type of stuff, right? So what you've essentially done is take yourself out of the game. Listen, if I'm a white man who's worried about my standing in society, and I see your dumb behind walking down the street with your pants underneath your butt, I am comforted by that view. I am sure you're not going to come compete for my job. Now, the guy who's sharp, who got his stuff together, he might come try to take my job.
There you
but
go.
I know your dumb behind is not coming into my office and taking my job.
But you know what? What gets me is the fact that you got to adjust it to the point. I mean, they taking time to. Let me see. Is it too low behind the butt? Is it too high? Is it too? Let me figure out. And they take time to do that
Work.
I'm like, yeah, they working at how to wear they daggone pants.
You can't even walk. Listen, if you gotta adjust your pants 14 times per 5 minutes, that's effort. I mean, I don't have time.
And then they running like this.
Yeah, it's extra effort. I mean, you can't even run when the police come after you because your pants is down. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. But you know, I when I'm counseling young brothers, listen, I understand on some levels that it seems like the system is rigged against us, man. I get it. I understand. I'm a black man living in America. I get it. But you gotta stay in the fight. You gotta engage the fight. How hard is it to not be able to read? How much effort does it take to not educate yourself? How much effort does it take to not be able to articulate yourself? Any idiot, any orangutan can achieve not being able to read. But it takes a person to have focus, energy, effort, and to engage the battle in order to say, yes, I'm from the projects. Yes, I'm from the hood. Yes, I had it rough. Yes, my father wasn't there. Yes, my mother struggled. Yes, I've had some bad influences. But you know what? I am still going to see something better, see something greater, and I'm going to engage the battle. I'm going to learn. I'm going to grow. I'm going to develop. See, that takes more effort. That takes more energy. That is a real G. That is the one I really respect. You are a bad man. Now, for you to go through that and use all that stuff as a crutch and excuse for why you've decided you're not going to read and you're not going to develop or grow or compete in any reasonable way on behalf of your community, I can't respect that. You quit. You failed. You didn't even try.
You're a damn fool.
And you live in Atlanta opportunity. I was out at the driving range, Top Golf driving range this weekend, right? Part of my long weekend. We closed the spot down. We in there having a good time, hitting the golf ball, drinking. And I had a little meetup from my Washington Wealth Strategy seminar group I have on meetup.com. We got over 500 members between a couple of meetups I have. We got about 450 in that group. But you know who showed up all to the meetup?
What?
Africans. The African guys came to the meetup to check out because they want to be upward mobile. We looking at some projects. We're doing investments in solar and what have you. But it was the Africans, and we got into this conversation about how people are literally jumping in the ocean trying to swim to the opportunity that we have in the United States. And then you got people in the United States who are born into the opportunity who don't take advantage and then have the nerve to be mad.
You're right. I forgot this is your show, but I was about to turn it up.
Turn it up.
You damn fool. What the fuck is your damn problem?
Oh.
We in one of the... keep going, because I'm about to turn it up.
We in Atlanta opportunity. Look, Quincy turned it all the way up.
You know what I'm saying?
What is your problem? I mean, here's the reality. You know, I thought I had it rough because I grew up in projects, welfare, foster home, hood. You know, my father went to prison. My mother was institutionalized in the mental institution. I was in abusive foster homes. I had it rough. I thought, I had the peanut butter and the black and white can, the block cheese.
Oh, what you talking about?
All that. I was on the welfare.
Of course.
I had the real food stamps. They got the swanky food stamps now. You just go and swipe a card and buy anything you want. I had the real food stamps back when I was growing up. And I thought that I had it rough until I got in the military and them people flew me to Haiti and I seen how them children were living and what they were going through. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm talking to these kids and they going through hell.
Yeah. And like you said, I turned it all the way up. The security guard from Bible Babies just told me, watch your mouth. I forgot I had the speaker on outside. Yeah. But either way, we in house now on the internet. But at the same token, I'm like this. Again, with me, I want to train you. I'm a plumbing electrician, but you don't want to get your butt up out of bed. I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning, but I ain't got no money. But you gonna call me on your back talking about uncle or grandpa or dad, I need some money. Wait a minute. Where am I at? I'm up in the tub doing what I gotta do, the 3 S's, shit, shower, shave. I'm doing all that and getting myself together so I can go out here and get this money.
Yeah.
But you don't want to learn when I'm willing to give you for free. You got to go to what you got to go to school now to get a trade, right?
Right.
And it costs. It costs the government money, and that costs us money as taxpayers.
Right.
But you don't.
Well, I think the difficulty is that a lot of
it's called laziness.
It's easy to come down on them, but I tell you what, and I do, because it is what it is. You're right. But somewhere along the line, we have youth who have essentially unplugged from that the vision, the dream. They don't believe in it anymore.
Right.
They don't believe that they can win. They don't believe that they can be successful, or I don't know. But they're it's like they're not there. There's an emptiness. They're unfulfilled, and even by the things that they think they want, as they get it, it doesn't fulfill them either. So I mean, we got to really kind of figure out what's going on with the psychology that really came somehow. We nurtured this.
Well, you know something, I'm catching it, and right now our babysitters are the daggone telephones, the tablets, the iPads, the iPhones, and the laptops and computers. And Miss Nova Pearl of the Andrew Sewell, and she got her own show. She just started Saturday, and she said we don't have that quality time with the. You remember when we was coming up at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock? You was sitting at the table with mom, dad, grandparent, auntie, or whoever, and you had that time. You sat down. They heard you got what happened that day. Or if you messed up, they was like, yeah, I know. Miss such and such told me you walking down the street, you talking to this little fresh girl or whatever, or you cussing or whatever. But the thing of it is that we have disconnected. And technology is pretty much to blame because that's our babysitters. That's our go-to thing. We don't. What's the last phone number you remembered?
Listen, it's gotten so bad. I'm on the phone with the telephone company or the utility company, paying my bill or bringing up my accounts, and they ask me, "Is this your phone number?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't call it." See, I don't even know my own phone number because I don't even give out my phone number.
But you know something? It goes back to your military days. I tell everybody that I meet, especially the young folks, I was like, if the internet and everything was to shut down, I mean, you got no GPS, you got no internet, you got nothing, no telecommunications, and you had to read a map. Could you find your way? First of all, what's the first thing you do when you open up a map? You got to orient it to the way and give them a compass.
Yeah, that would be a rough one. But that's not just the kids. That's a lot of the adults.
That's what I'm saying.
We haven't developed. The skill sets that we used to have, what we don't have. Land navigation is one of them.
There you go.
Utilizing a compass and utilizing a map. Understanding the different elements of terrain, draws and spurs and ridges and
elevation, all that. Yeah.
So I mean, these are things that skill sets that Again, I'm thankful for my military experience because whether I have to do it or not, I know I could walk off into the woods and survive.
With nothing.
I've done it.
I say the same thing. I tell everybody. I say, look, if you drop me off in the middle of the desert, butt naked, I'm coming out with a 3-piece suit. The reason being because I got that skill set. I know how. I know how to find water. I know just.
Oh my God.
I know how to find water. I know how to survive, and Well, let me go ahead and
Now,
put it
how'd
like,
you develop that skill? I mean,
military school, baby.
Oh, you in military school as well?
Lincoln Hall Military School.
Okay. So yeah, so
And, I'm sorry. I went to Howard for Army ROTC too.
oh, and HU. Oh wow. Oh man, HU represent.
and then on top of that,
Crazy is gone. Oh.
Then
man.
on top of that, I'm a syrup maker.
Mm-hmm.
I went to high school in Cairo, Georgia.
Oh wow.
So I'm what you call a city country boy. When y'all see squirrels,
Man.
I see dinner.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cairo Juro with the Cairo syrup.
No, that's CAIRO, not KARO.
Oh, you mean Cairo.
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 See,
that's what they
Cairo is in Egypt.
But it's the same spelling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same spelling.
So no, it became Cairo when they went to the south. That's the southern. You heard it here. You heard it here on Hall Street. The southern pronunciation of Cairo is Cairo.
Yeah, that's Cairo, Georgia.
Now they made some syrup. You know my favorite syrup. I gotta get me some of this because I every time I talk about it, that Alabama and Georgia syrup, man.
No, see, you talking about Cairo syrup, but no. I'm talking about the Roddenberry syrup because right next door to the high school was Roddenberry pickle and syrup plant, and that's where you get that old thick molasses. And I tell you what, matter of fact, I'm gonna Google it right now.
AL and GA, Alabama and Georgia syrup. It has the most unique taste of any syrup I ever had in my life, and there's just nothing like it. And I'm gonna have to see if I can find. I used to go to this website back in the day called Old Fashioned Foods and just order stuff. Yeah. So on the tip of education, right? If you got a question about, I know we've been talking about some wild stuff, but if you got a question about personal finance, got a question about income, expenses, assets, liability, cash flow, net worth, how to grow, how to develop the definition of wealth. If you got a question about insurance, life, health, property, casualty. If you got a question about investments, capital gains versus passive income investments, real estate, trading stocks. We have a command of all these issues. And and we got some syrup. I'm
just showing you.
We got some syrup online. The Alabama and Georgia's not there. Yeah. I don't see it. Crazy.
Check it out.
What we got here?
Yeah, pull the laptop. Go ahead. You see, it says Cane Patch.
Oh, he pulled up the Roddenberry Roddenberry Foods. Man, I never heard of this.
Yeah, they located right in Cairo, Georgia, but they shut down now in Roddenberry. That Cane Patch syrup is no longer available.
Oh,
well, I think it's still available, but it's not like it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we looking at the Cane Patch syrup. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check this one out.
Oh yeah, that's that. You remember when they say give me sausage? What is it? Sausage biscuits and gravy, or sausage syrup and gravy. That's what you got down in the South.
Man,
2 biscuits, them big old links of sausage, and yeah.
Well, we got 2 syrup recommendations for you this morning on the Hall Street Journal. You can check out the Roddenberry syrup, and you can check out that is Quasi's recommendation, the Roddenberry syrup.
Oh yeah,
cane syrup, Cane Patch syrup, and Hall Street is recommending the Alabama and Georgia syrup. I want to see. Okay. I wonder if we can. Now people usually don't know it's Alabama and Georgia. They say ALGA. It says AL and GA. AL and GA syrup. I don't even know where you can get it. I haven't seen it in the store in a long time. But it is. Now it's one of those things that you're either gonna love it or you're gonna leave it. He said it's not connected. You're either gonna love it or you gonna not. Never have it again. I'm on my phone right now.
Okay, go ahead.
It's crazy that the Galaxy Note 7, man, that thing is like $800 and something. That thing almost $900.
But wait a minute, no.
That's a computer price.
No. This is what gets me. You ain't got a car you staying with uncle or grandpa or stepmama or you ain't got no job, but you got an $800 phone with some $300 shoes on your feet, but yet you don't have no skill set. Somebody help me. You know what? I still shop for boots at Walmart, and I go out here and I make $300-400 in about an hour. But at the same token, I ain't going out. Look, where my phone at? My phone cost me $100 at Boost. I mean at Kmart. It's a Samsung whatever it is. But yeah, here it is. Look, $100. $100 is a Samsung. It does everything. When it rings, if it ain't no money, I don't answer it.
But that's one way to use the phone. That's one way to use it.
Exactly.
Okay.
But the Galaxy Note 7 is coming out. Believe me, everybody who ain't got no job gonna be the first one to be grabbing it up.
Yeah.
And what's today's date? No, you know what? I just thought about this morning. Why is it you cannot reach people between the first and the I'm gonna say the 8th or the 10th? Between the 1st and the 10th of the month, they don't answer their phone. They don't want you to call, or they busy and everything else. But call them after the 10th. What they looking for? Oh yeah, what's up? You want to hang out? You want to go get something to drink? You want to do this? You want to do that? But nah, when I call you and I need your help, you ain't available. Why is that?
Well, as you said, maybe they're not answering the phone. They don't think it's some money.
Oh, no. What it is the fact that they got their money. They got their money.
Right.
And they don't have time for you.
Uh-huh.
But when they broke, let me say that in ghetto term. When they broke.
You know what I say? A friend in need is a friend in need. When your
butt is broke, then you want to call, hey, what's up, dog? How you doing? What's up, cat? How you doing? What's up, Quasi? You all right? Huh? Man, please. Boy, girl, oh Lord, I ain't gonna get with the girls though.
Hey, a friend in need is a friend indeed, man. That's reality. But you know what? We need to really get out here and get to the point where we not even living month to month and check to check and when I got and when I don't, because if we start really building in this land of opportunity that we living in, when
that gonna happen?
It need to happen right now. I mean, it really. Again, you cannot make a withdrawal from a bank where you've not made a deposit. And so a lot of people, are stuck and hooked and caught into the whole lifestyle of hustle and struggle. But they don't know anything else. They don't believe anything else. But there's a lot more out there. There are people out here making $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, $80, $100,000 a month, not a year, a month.
That's right.
People making millions a month. There's opportunities if you seize them. You can, but you cannot seize them. You gotta be prepared when opportunity comes. Everybody has the will to win, but not everyone has the will to prepare. They're not willing to always put the effort in.
You're right.
Like if there's an effort, if there's an opportunity to get a contract and get out here and do some electrical work, I can tell you right now, Solar City, they paying $1,000 bonus if you can find somebody who can work on the install teams and electrical work, because there's so much work that needs to be done to install the systems that people are adopting.
See, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, so you looking at the opportunities are there. People say something, I can't find a job. Man, you can find a job.
What'd you say? They paying $1,000 just for you to refer?
To refer somebody that gets hired. They paying the other employees thousands to bring more employees. Like, look, if you can bring us somebody that we can hire, we'll give you a G. You know what I mean? That's just how bad they're looking for people to work. And then you got people, as you said, who will lay on their back and call and ask folks for money. So the encouragement, and that's not the encouragement, is develop yourself, grow yourself, develop skills, knowledge, understanding, be able to come to a table and offer some skill sets that will be a benefit to other people. That's called being a productive member of society. That's what we need. That's what we want. That's what you need and want to be. I mean, there's nothing when you live in this land of opportunity called America. You don't let anybody hold you down. You don't let anybody control your attitude. You don't let anyone put you down or hold you down. Your attitude is everything. How you react, how you respond. If you see opportunity, you will be able to embrace it and do great things. I mean, that's just reality.
And the same thing goes with the dress, the way you dress, and the attitude that you take towards your dress. Because I get up in the morning, first thing I do, I iron my clothes. And everybody tell you, Quincy, what you doing? I'm just running. That ain't you, because they used to seeing me in something, whatever I'm wearing is crease, and it's pressed and it's up off my daggone booty, and I'm just doing what I do. And like you said, a skill set is the greatest thing to have, but you got to get up. You got to get up. You got to wake up. You got to wake up. You got to get up. You got to do something before somebody else does it, because you'll lose out.
Right. I mean, it's all skill sets, whether it's professional skill sets or interpersonal skill sets. You got to utilize them. I know people who have professional skill sets out of wazoo, but the interpersonal skills are so bad that they can't function properly in a work environment.
Yeah,
so you know, right. It doesn't matter.
You got to learn how to. You got to know how to talk.
Yeah,
to
if
people.
you don't know how to work with people and talk to people and deal with people and be part of a team, it's not. It doesn't matter how many skill sets you have or how much value you add to the table. So there's no easy out. You know, on every level, you have to be conscious. You have to be and aware, and you have to govern yourself accordingly if you want to see success. And that's just not, you know, I don't want to do it. Listen, the president of the United States, who's the most powerful person arguably on the face of the earth, has rules to follow, has protocols to follow. There are things they have to do. There's certain ways that they have to function, whether it be a man or a woman or whoever's in that seat. Right. You cannot function as the president unless you do certain things. Let the president of the United States say, I'm going to lay in the bed for 2 weeks and do nothing. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. They have to follow the instructions of the Secret Service if they want to stay alive. You know, Secret Service is every day. Here's a guy or a lady who's a government employee, and they tell the president what to do in certain environments and certain circumstances. And the president, if they're smart, is going to listen to that government employee because they're there to save their life. So you never get past the point of having to be accountable in a civilized environment where there's not absolute freedom to do anything you want. And so some of our youth, they reject the notion of anybody telling them to do anything because they think that's what makes them successful or strong. But it's when you are able to take your strength and willingly submit it for a greater good. That's what makes you that's what makes you the next level.
You absolutely right. And I'm going on 49, 25th of this month. And when I first met my wife, we ain't married, but she's my wife. We've been together 4 years. It feel like 40. But the thing of it is that, exactly, I came in beating my chest. I'm the man. I'm this and that. But you know what? Today, before I do anything else, she the boss. I just work for her. But the thing of it is that I mean, hey, wear the pants, baby. I ain't got no problem with it. Wear the pants. But the thing of it is that, yes, you have to submit, and you have to think before you react, and that's like you said, the young folks they're not doing it.
Wow.
And you know it's and she'll tell you I go in there, but she say something to me and I just
crazy.
And they call it what they call it PAN. What they call it I can't.
No, don't do it. But, yeah, don't say it, man. Now I got a problem with that one. I can't rock with you on that one. I believe that the man is supposed to be. Wait. It's supposed to be the head.
No, I'm not saying.
We're supposed to lead. We're supposed to be priests, providers.
I'm leading, but at the same token, what I'm saying, I'm not bowing down, but I'm saying I submit. You know, sometimes she say something, I may get out of pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I may get beside myself.
Well, but you got to be able to govern yourself in that area.
Well, see, and that's
she shouldn't have to govern you.
No, she doesn't.
Your understanding.
She pulls my coattail. She pulls my shirt tail. Hey,
and you say, okay, I hear you. I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, you say, I hear you.
Yeah.
Because the whole point, when you have a wife and you have a helpmeet, someone who loves you, someone who cares for you, and they give you perspective when you going astray.
Right.
And they do that in a way that's respectful and that does not take you out of your position, but actually cause you to step into your position on a higher level, and you submit to the truth of what she's presented to you. I respect that. You know, but at the same time, as head of a family, you want your wife and your children to honor and respect you as a leader in the family,
as my
who's
figure,
going to be
as my figure.
So that because listen, man, I'm gonna tell you, this is my perspective. Anything with two heads is a monster. Okay, anything with two heads is a monster. No, we both the head. No. Two heads is a monster. If you see any animal with two heads, you can be like,
maybe I came off wrong.
Yeah,
but
you said.
See, maybe I said it wrong. My mind is going. Look, I ain't get home at 3:30. I'm here at 6.
I can tell.
But at the same token, you're right. You're absolutely right. It is our place as men and as leaders, whether you white, black, brown, tan, whatever, but we are supposed to take the head, and that is stated in our. I don't know it is in your Quran, but it's in my Bible. Right. Blah blah blah.
Well, I mean, the reality is you can not just that you had the head, but you have to be worthy of that position. You know that you don't have the rights without the responsibility. So the only reason that you are able to, you know, if you're gonna be the head, then you must be the one who's also going to put your family ahead of yourself and put their welfare ahead of your own. That's the only thing that qualifies you to lead.
You know what? Ask a lot of people. If you was in front of a firing squad and they said, I'll let you go if you want to sacrifice them, they family, who would want to die? Me? I'm ready to go because I've made my peace, but I even tell my wife that I say, baby, I need me to go first because I know without you, I go crazy. I wouldn't know what to do because you keep me on point.
Well, you just mentioned the Bible. The Bible says that a man ought to love his wife the way Christ loved the church, and Christ died for the church. Booyah!
But there it is. Who gonna do that?
Booyah! And you know what? There was a joke. I tell you the joke. The lady used to say she was with her husband. She was with her husband. And her husband always kept saying, "Baby, you know I die for you. Baby, you know I die for you. Ooh. I love you, baby. I die for you." And she said, "Oh, Henry, you always say that, but you never do it." And here's the thing. You got to do it. And how do you die for your wife? You die to yourself daily. You elevate her wants and needs above your own. See, that is how you die for the people that you love, for your children. You don't make sure you ate first and they ate later. You don't make sure you happy while they sad. You make it more important to you that she's happy than it is to her that she's happy. Exactly. And so that is what gives you the right to lead, because you embrace the responsibility to commit to another's welfare and to sacrifice yourself for them. If you're not willing to do that for your children, for your wife, then you don't have the right to say I'm the head. You know what I'm saying? There's something that comes with that. That's what. And then the women think I'm gonna let you get it. They think that if they submit into abuse. If you submit into abuse, you submit into a person who's not taking responsibility for your welfare. And Hall Street, we don't advocate that. I advocate that you submit to a person who has taken responsibility for your welfare. And anyone who's taking the responsibility for your welfare will never abuse you.
But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Whether it's verbal, physical, mental, and most people don't know. See, it's a lot of mental abuse. And then they wonder why but that's a whole different subject. Mm-hmm. But when Dad, you done threw me off. I done threw my own self off.
I think you were throwing off since 3 o'clock this morning.
No,
that's all right.
No,
you hit.
I was doing the bathroom out in Temple Hills, man. I had to regrout. Yeah, I was working. Yeah, but all the way around, it's going back to my wife. It's like you say, and I tell the bosses, Dr. Baruch and Mr. Gaskins, I tell them, I said, no sooner I got a problem with that lady, because of y'all two, I quit. Because it is my job. to make sure she is on her level or whatever she needs that I can provide for her.
Right.
And I don't need no BS behind it.
You gotta take care of your wife. You gotta take care of your family.
And I'm
That's
here.
your number one responsibility.
Exactly.
Right.
And as a man with the trade, and as tired as I am, I'm still here doing what I gotta do. And as soon as you leave, I'll probably go home and switch up. But I had to come in because we both woke up late.
No, did we?
I would, and then I called you.
Right.
You wasn't up.
Right. I wasn't even in the same room with my phone. I had to go out of my office. The phone was just sitting on the desk. Like, oh man, I said, who called me at 6:30 in the morning? Calling me at 6:30 in the morning with it, me. And I had to check the message. But yeah, I mean, the reality is that we as men want to take responsibility for our families, and of course, you want to be honored and respected by your family for doing that. And whenever you find a good, he who finds a wife finds a good thing, and your wife is not there to be abused. Your wife is there to be your helpmate. Your wife is there to share perspectives that perhaps you didn't have, and you have a responsibility to hear her. You have a responsibility to respect her, and you have a responsibility to make sure that the family is benefited and blessed by her wisdom. By there's certain things that a woman brings to an element they bring to a family, and you want to be able to take advantage of that and let you and your children be blessed by that. So we love our sisters. I was in the project this weekend. We love DC. Something they had a thing down there by the Union Market where they had all these brothers come in and wear black shirts, and they took pictures of us, like over 1,000 pictures of different brothers, just positive brothers. And so big up to the brothers, big up to the sisters. We appreciate y'all for listening on this wild 1 hour show we had this week. Appreciate Kwesi, the engineer extraordinaire, for coming in and keeping us company and give us something else to think about, new perspectives. And we hope that y'all come back and check us out on Monday. We're here at elifemedia.net. We're here on Monday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And Kwesi, I'm gonna let you. Did you have anything else you wanted to share with the audience?
Nah, Mr. Hall. I'm gonna call you Rob.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, which one is it, Mr. Hall?
Mr.
Hall.
Rob.
Mr. Hall.
Mr. Hall.
How are you, Mr. Hall?
Street.
But either way, all the way around, I just want to say, we I don't know where we're going, and it's crazy that we sat here and talked about it. But I just want to say, yeah, we down. I'm Kwesi Johnson, aka DJ Flash Drive, down here at eLife Media at 9185 Central Avenue. But our young folks, y'all need to wake your butts up. That period. That's all I got to say. Because you come to me, I'm just gonna two-piece you and call it a day.
Oh man, on that note, I gotta tell them I love y'all. I love y'all.
Yeah. I love you too. I'm gonna help you up. I'm gonna help you after I knock you down. I'm gonna help you up.
We gotta help them up. And listen, speaking of helping them up, this show is brought to you by a Solar City operation. Call 301-412-5673 if you want to save some money, and if you're looking to get involved in solar. And so even investing in the solar industry, give me a call, 301-412-5673. Y'all have a great week and be blessed.
Oh